Dave LeCali with HeadGames Motorworks, and today we have the teardown of teardowns. We have Jon Rogers, flame shooting, stick shift having, V8 turbo, 7.0s on a radial. We have his heads here. Jon Rogers. We're gonna tear him down, show you what happened, and then show you what we're gonna do to it. All right, so if you don't know who Jon Rogers is, I suggest that you run over to his YouTube channel. Just subscribe to that thing because you're gonna see some crazy escapades with this junkyard VK56. They put rods, pistons, some Valvetrain in it, just try to find stuff online, and made that thing go 7.0s. Pretty crazy. It's the engine out of the Armada. I know that they used it in IMSA many, many years ago, but I don't think that's the same animal we got here. But let's go over this. He had a failure, and we're going to go over what failed, what was failing, and how we're going to fix it. So here is the heads. So we got the heads over here, and I've seen some stuff that kind of sucks. I feel bad. Now, the valve job that was done is nothing exciting. In fact, it's not really going to help anything. And Jon decided to port him himself, and that is, it kind of looks like, you know, Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder tag team this thing, and I can't help that part. I cannot fix it, and I refuse to fix it. But it has steel guides in it, and they put valves in it. I'll go over that in a little bit. You see this. See a little damage there, a little damage there, a little damage here. And this damage is because you'll notice that there is part of a valve guide missing. And in Jon's video, he mentioned something that might have been going bad, and he thought maybe it was an easy fix. Well, there you go. That is, the valve guide broke. Why did it break? And that's part of the things that we're going to talk about today. Now, as you can imagine, you know, it's making 2,000 horsepower. You got these SuperTech valves. Part of the problem here is, if you can see, that there is a ledge on the 45-degree angle. And that ledge is because this thing has been valve floating, and it's been floating pretty good. He did mention that it like nosed over on the top end, and nosing over is mainly because it's just going on the valve float and he doesn't have enough spring pressure. See, he runs like 40 pounds of booster this thing, and when you don't have enough spring, it's going to beat up the valve. You can see there was some heat that went up the valve. There's some heat. It's like blues and purples, and you know, the guy definitely sits on the limiter for a little bit, but you have steel guides. So the steel guide problem is that you don't have anything that is going to self-lubricate, but also dissipate heat better. And when you have a lot of heat and you have a steel guide, that leads to issues. Also, issue would be when you're floating. So the valve guide clearance could be opened up, because every aftermarket valve, the stem diameter, see, you can see a wiggle in there. So the guides right from the get-go is a little loose, because the OEM, I don't have an OEM guide to measure, but I would imagine that the OEM guide is bigger, and because it's bigger, it fits the guide more correctly. Whereas you put an aftermarket valve in there, and now you have excessive valve to guide clearance. It's going to be moving around, it's going to be, and it's floating. There's a lot that goes into this. Eventually what it does, just breaks the tip of the guide off and it goes into your engine. But the guide here, I'm not measuring it because I'm not going to use them, but I would say that's a good 1.5. Look at them intake ports. Freaking gigantic. Now I'm going to guess that he opened it up to a gasket because the end of the port is rolled into the runner, and that's not usually, it's never really a good thing. So if you just make this outside part of the port and you just make that to the gasket and you don't change the inside of the port, well, it's gonna, I mean, I tell you what, there is 0 gasket companies having conversations about cross-sectional area and saying, man, if we make it to this size, the head porter is gonna have a lot of room and he's gonna be able to maximize that port. There's 0 people having that conversation. I promise you, they are not that guy. So what I would do is not take it out to the gasket, but port everything inside, make it to the right cross-sectional area that you're looking for, and then you're good to go. The other problem I seen was when Jon ported these, he made the divider razor thin. And that is a problem because we're talking about a hot spot. And we're talking about a place that gets hot. And what's going to happen here, although it hasn't happened yet, is that becomes hot enough where it cracks the head. Valve springs. So Jon he had to find, he has a really high lift camshaft, so he had to find some valve springs that were gonna fit the bill and fit everything in it. But when you don't know a lot about spring pressures, or the manufacturer only gives you a seat pressure, they don't give you an open pressure, they give you some information, but they don't give you the entire amount of information that you need. It becomes a problem. And then, you make some choices. Now, this is a beehive spring. I have honestly never got a beehive to behave, ever. Like maybe in the 4G63, in the Coyotes, I've gotten those to behave, but definitely not in anything else, to be honest with you. I try to get away from it as quickly as I can and go to a conical. All right, so how are we going to level this thing up? Because we have to level it up. We can't just put it back together the way it is, because it was obviously not failing in a way, but yes, failing. It was beating the valve up. He said it was laying over on the big end, and we can't have that. So what we did was we went into our GSC catalog and we found some retainers and a valve spring. It's not made for this, but with some careful math and some guidance from GSC, we have found a spring kit that will work for this, and it's loads better. So check this out. Here's what we're starting with, and that is a beehive single spring, obviously. And this spring doesn't really offer a lot in terms of spring pressure or rate. So it's 90 pounds in the seat, and it's only 190 open, and that's at 470 lift, which is a ton of lift, and it still doesn't really have much pressure. And what that's going to do is not going to be RPM friendly, and it's really not going to be boost friendly. It's just going to go into valve flow, and it has this kind of heavy titanium retainer. But when you go to a conical, you're now getting an even smaller retainer. This thing is tiny, and you're also, again, getting a single spring, but you can even see the wire difference between the two. The wire is completely different. And now you're getting into something that has almost 130 on the seat, 287 open, and we're still 108 from bind, but that spring rate of 339 is going to make sure that Jon can run as much RPM, as much boost. Really, we can start throwing the kitchen sink at it. Now, I would not run and try to figure out what we just did there, because, well, we just know the line, and we are sharing this data with GSC Power Division, and it's likely that they're going to come out with a kit for this thing pretty soon. Maybe by the time this video airs, who knows, but we definitely have uncovered a cheat code to having some great spring pressure and doing what Jon needs to do with this thing. And maybe you guys too, who knows. I've heard that this thing, we've already got a bunch of inquiries, and if guys are going to make some jam with it, we already have a spring solution that soon will be commercially available. So I'm not sure which valve he's putting in it, but because I know he sent Super Techs. He has some Manley's. I think Manley was making them valves. This part, I haven't figured that out yet. I just wanted to do this video because we're kind of in a rush. He is trying to get it back together so he can bang some gears at some other race, and he wants to go 6s. So I really think that just the spring kit, just putting bronze guides in it, just rebuilding it in the right way is going to add power and add reliability without really doing anything to the port, because some of the things he ported would actually hurt it. But he's going to send us some stock heads so we can play with them, try to figure out what the port likes, and maybe start offering that as a service. But we're not there yet. What we're here is just trying to fix up what he's got, and we only got 2 weeks to do it. and then he's off to racing, and then we're back-to-back racing, and we're going to do some development on that head, as I said, but you can kind of expect all that stuff to come out in November and after World Cup, because we're going to follow the World Cup, and we're going to show you that video as well. So be sure to like, subscribe, comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Toodles.